Welcome to the presentation comparing education between Morocco and America. The columns studied are 6 columns. First column of learners. Learner, USA. American students are distinguished by several aspects of their educational system and behavior in school. Individual freedom. They have great freedom to express their opinions, even with teachers. Extracurricular activities. School is not limited to studying only, it includes sports, theater, music, debates, and various clubs. Technology. They rely extensively on smart devices and computers for learning. Emphasis on creativity over memorization. Critical thinking and teamwork are encouraged instead of repetition and memorization. Discipline varies by region. Some schools are very strict, while others are more free. Teacher-student relationships. They are often characterized by equality and mutual respect rather than strict hierarchy. Morocco. Moroccan students have unique advantages and challenges stemming from the reality of Moroccan education and the culture of society. In terms of learning, most of them rely on memorization and partial understanding because exams measure memorization more than skills. There is a privileged group that strives for excellence and loves self-reflection, especially in big cities or model schools. In terms of the school environment, classes are often overcrowded, which reduces student engagement. Technological resources are limited, despite efforts to expand them. Rural schools suffer more from poor infrastructure. In terms of the relationship with the teacher, formal respect prevails, but sometimes it is mixed with fear or excessive distance. Some teachers make a great effort to encourage students, but others deal with them in a strict, traditional manner. In terms of classroom behavior, it ranges from extreme seriousness for some to indifference or absence for others. Solidarity appears among students in difficult situations, especially in public schools. In terms of ambition, many dream of traveling or studying abroad, seeking broader opportunities. There is a growing awareness of the importance of self-learning and modern skills, such as programming and languages. The second column of education columns is teachers or educators. The teacher, USA. Teachers in America enjoy a middle-class social status, but their circumstances vary from state to state. The system is decentralized, meaning each state sets its own salaries and working conditions. Summary. Salary. Between $45,000 and $70,000 per year on average, increasing with experience and certifications. Working hours. About 35 to 40 hours per week in school, plus preparation and grading at home. Education. Most hold a college degree in education or a related subject. Autonomy. They have freedom in their teaching method, but are subject to national tests and standards. Challenges. Overcrowded classrooms, limited funding in some areas, and the pressure of testing. Morocco. Teachers in Morocco undergo professional training at special centers that combine theoretical study with classroom training. Salaries range from 6,000 to 7,200 dirhams per month, depending on the level, with increases expected in the coming years. Despite relative stability, teachers face challenges such as work pressure, low wages compared to the cost of living, and a lack of resources, especially in rural areas. Government reforms are underway to improve the basic system for teaching staff and gradually raise wages, along with improved training and equipment. The third pillar of teaching is the educational curriculum. Course of study. USA. The curriculum in America is not uniform and is administered by each state individually, but there are general guidelines that all share. Structure. Compulsory education from ages 6 to 18. 3 levels: elementary, middle, and high school. Core subjects: English, mathematics, science, history, physical education, and art. Electives such as programming, music, economics, or foreign languages are added. Method. It relies on critical thinking and practical projects rather than memorization. Each student is encouraged to research and discuss rather than memorize. Assessment. Grades are continuous throughout the year through tests, assignments, and projects. At the end of high school, students take a standardized test such as the SAT or ACT to enter college. Morocco. The educational curriculum in Morocco is organized and unified nationwide, supervised by the Ministry of National Education. It aims to develop learners' knowledge, morals, and skills. Structure. Compulsory education from the age of 6 to 17. Stages. Primary, 6 years. Middle, 3 years. High school, 3 years. Subjects. In primary school, Arabic, French, mathematics, Islamic education, scientific activity, social studies, and arts. In middle and high school, English, physics, technology, philosophy, economics, and experimental sciences are added according to specialization. Method focuses on basic knowledge with increasing efforts to introduce critical thinking and digitization into education. However, challenges include the large number of subjects, weak resources, and excessive reliance on rote learning. Assessment relies on continuous assessment and national certification exams. The fourth pillar of education is teaching methods or teaching styles. Teaching methods. USA. The education style in America is based on freedom, creativity, and participation rather than memorization and rote learning. Key characteristics. Constant interaction. Students discuss, ask questions, and participate in group projects. Learning by doing. They rely on experiments, research, and demonstrations rather than solely theoretical lessons. Independence. Students choose their subjects from an early age to develop their interests. Technology. Computers, digital tablets, and educational platforms are used in almost every subject. Psychological support. Educational counselors assist with academic and career guidance. The goal is to develop an independent, innovative, and realistic personality capable of solving problems rather than simply memorizing answers. Morocco. The education system in Morocco is based on a unified system and gradual progression, blending classical indoctrination with modern reforms. Key characteristics. Focus on memorization and comprehension. The teacher explains, and students write down and memorize lessons. Continuous monitoring. Students are assessed through formal assignments and exams. Language of instruction. Arabic in primary school, followed by French and English in scientific subjects later. Discipline and order. Education is organized with strict timelines and uniform content across all schools. Challenges. Lack of resources, overcrowded classrooms, and weak practical application and critical thinking skills. The state is currently working to modernize the method by incorporating technology, encouraging debate, and improving teacher training. The fifth pillar of education is tests or exams. Exams. USA. Testing in the U.S. is diverse and focuses on continuous measurement and comprehensive abilities, not just memorization. Features. Continuous assessment, assignments, projects, and presentations throughout the academic year. Midterm and final exams, to assess a student's level in each subject. Standardized tests, such as the SAT and ACT in high school to determine college admission. Flexibility. Students can often retake tests or improve their scores through additional projects and assignments. Individualized instruction. The student's level is taken into account, and additional support is provided when needed. The goal is to measure comprehension, critical thinking, and the ability to apply rather than simply memorizing information. Examinations in Morocco focus on memorization and theoretical knowledge, with attempts to introduce some. Morocco practical assessment. Characteristics. Continuous assessment. Homework and semester exams throughout the year. Certification exams, such as the baccalaureate and middle school exams, to determine progression to the next level. Subjects. All core subjects such as mathematics, Arabic, French, and science. Summative assessment relies heavily on the final exam, which puts pressure on students. Challenges. Weak emphasis on practical projects, and lack of flexibility in individual assessment. The official goal is to measure basic knowledge and understanding rather than practical skills or critical thinking. Finally, the last factor is the time or duration of the study. School time. USA. In the USA, daily school hours vary by grade level and school, but are roughly as follows. Elementary, 6 to 7 hours per day, including core classes, sports, art, and recess. Middle school, 6.5 to 7.5 hours, with the day divided into 6 to 8 classes. High school, 6 to 8 hours, each class typically 45 to 60 minutes long, including electives and projects. Extracurricular activities. Some schools offer support classes, sports activities, or after-school clubs. The day typically starts between 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. and ends between 2:30 to 3:30 p.m. Morocco. In Morocco, the length of the daily study depends on the educational level, but it is generally as follows. Primary, approximately 5 to 6 hours per day, including core classes and a short break. Middle, 6 to 7 hours per day, with the day divided into 6 to 7 classes. High school, 6-8 hours, with each class typically 45 to 60 minutes long, including core subjects and sometimes electives. The day typically starts between 8:30 to 12:30 a.m. and ends between 14:30 to 6:30 p.m., with some schools offering support classes or after-school activities. Thanks for your time.